I'm the Executive Director of Main Street Hammonton, and we're delighted to have all of you here. Welcome to Hammonton. We're the blueberry capital of the world. For some of you here today, this might be your first visit to Hammonton. My guess is you might be pleasantly surprised by what you see and what you thought you might see. Yes, you are in South Jersey, and yes, we are a happening town. We, as a community, are enormously proud of our town, which has that small town feel and a big city appeal. So welcome to our wonderful town. We are delighted to have you here today. And we are also delighted to have our acting Governor Oliver join us today in Hammonton. A few comments about our special guest. She and Governor Murphy have restored the Neighborhood Preservation Program and renewed the state's commitment to Main Street, New Jersey in an effort to strengthen the economic vitality of communities by encouraging public and private investment. This commitment is important to improving quality of life, expanding opportunity for as many people as possible, and strengthening neighborhoods. Acting Governor Oliver has had a distinguished career in public service that began when she served as the Director of the Office of Youth Services and Special Projects for the City of Newark. She has served as an Essex County freeholder, a member of the East Orange Board of Education, an Assistant County Administrator for Essex County, an Assemblywoman, and Speaker of the New Jersey Assembly. She is the first African American woman in New Jersey history to serve as Assembly Speaker and just the second in U.S. history to lead a state legislative house. When she took the oath as New Jersey's second Lieutenant Governor, she became the woman of color to hold a statewide elected office in New Jersey. Please give a warm welcome to our Acting Governor Oliver.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you for dealing with the delay that I had. But it's such a beautiful day outside. I'm sure some of you'd rather be outdoors than indoors this morning. But I had a wonderful drive down from Essex County today, and I have to tell you, Lisa Ryan, who is our communications person, many of you know Lisa, she told me this is my daily commute. And I said to her, well, I'm sure by the time you get to Trenton, you're in a very good mood. But I so appreciated my drive here today. I am an outdoor person, and I have an appreciation for the open space, the wonderful farms that are here, and the beautiful homes. So I am sure that Hammonton and the residents of Hammonton do, Cassie, have a great quality of life. And we in the Murphy administration want to contribute and enhance to what everyone's quality of life is in the communities that they have. And for those of you who don't know, Main Street, New Jersey is a program that seeks to help revitalize commercial and downtown areas of a community. And Cassie has been passionate about downtown Hammonton for many, many years, as many of you know. And we want to thank you, Cassie, for the valuable work that you and the Main Street Hammonton team do here. Hammonton and Main Street Hammonton, New Jersey, is the longest running Main Street, New Jersey project that we have in the state. And it's wonderful to be in the blueberry capital of New Jersey. I smiled when Cassie made reference to that because I went to undergraduate school in Pennsylvania, and we were near Kennett Square, which is the mushroom capital of the country. And I was in Delaware last week at a meeting of lieutenant governors, and I was talking with someone from the DuPont company, and he was so amazed that I knew about the mushroom capital of the world. So next time I see him, I'll have to tell him about the blueberry capital. You know, when I became Speaker of the New Jersey General Assembly, I made a commitment to visit all 40 legislative districts of the state to meet with local officials and everyday people from all the communities in New Jersey. And I did that because I felt as a legislative leader, it was necessary for me to understand the life experience and the daily, everyday activities that went on in all the legislative districts. It gets to be important because the legislature is comprised of 120 people who come from all different places, and it's very important for us to have a unique understanding of the needs and the assets that exist in all communities. The quality of life is at the heart of the Main Street, New Jersey, and the neighborhood preservation programs that we administer in the Department of Community Affairs. We focus on activities like property rehabilitation, community development planning, code enforcement, public facility improvements, and the cost for professional services like appraisals and engineering. And I'm so glad to see with us today Sean Thompson, who is the Director of Local Planning Services in the Department of Community Affairs. And he has the pleasure of working with elected officials and business owners all across the state to help with plans to revitalize and to bring life to their commercial areas. We know that all of these things contribute to strong, vibrant neighborhoods and downtowns where people want to work, visit, and put down roots. And this concept of a, quote, town center is grabbing all over the state, quite frankly, all over the country. You can visit other states other than ours, and you will see the emphasis that has been being placed on town centers. What are town centers? Town centers are places where people gather, where people come for leisure activity, recreation, where people come to do business, where people come to have a meal, a cup of coffee. And I often jokingly say that as we begin to cultivate and develop these plans for our main streets, if we want to keep our millennials in town, we have to get a Starbucks. Because I've noticed with all the revitalization, I see all my millennials gravitating towards the Starbucks. I'm proud to say that at the Department of Community Affairs, we are renewing our commitment to community revitalization and to Main Street, New Jersey, and the Neighborhood Preservation Program. Two programs that are routinely credited by towns as critical to their revitalization efforts. Our two programs had been dormant for a while, and in the 2019 budget, Governor Murphy made appropriations and the legislature supported appropriations to DCA so that we could continue and get the program back on track. This year marks the first time in its 30-year history that the Main Street, New Jersey program has awarded grants to designated Main Street district organizations around the state. And you can see the communities that we'll be working with this year. The grant funding is a recognition that these programs work and that they routinely report an excellent return on investment. It is also part of a larger effort by the Murphy administration to commit more resources to community revitalization programs that focus on small businesses, because helping our small businesses succeed leads to sustained economic growth for communities and to revenue generation, some of which is passed on to local governments to provide public services that are critical to community vitality. I have long been a supporter of small and medium-sized businesses in communities. People often think of large corporations and large companies, but small businesses, there is no doubt. Talk to anyone in your Chamber of Commerce, anyone in your regional business partnership communities, and you will learn that small businesses do, in fact, employ more people than the Fortune 500s, quite frankly, all across our country. And that is no different in New Jersey. Local businesses and our commercial sectors employ local people and contribute to the health of local economies. And that's why we're so excited at DCA to be able to begin to restart our efforts with Main Street and with the Neighborhood Preservation Program. Neighborhood preservation is one of my favorite initiatives as well, because I am a lover of old architecture. And while, whoever the contemporary Frank Lloyd Wrights are, I respect what they do. But I know that some of our historic architecture will never be recreated again, and it will never be built with the same type of quality and attention to detail as we see in building today. And the Neighborhood Preservation Program allows us to go into Main Street areas and help to preserve those types of structures. And I think that that gets to be very important because it also contributes to and enhances tourism in the state. I made mention of me being in Delaware, and Delaware, of course, is the first state. And it is wonderful to see buildings from the 17 and 1800s being preserved in the state of Delaware and being converted for commercial use and for business use, etc. This year, designated Main Street districts were also eligible for the Main Street grants. We are awarding on average $25,000 or less that are aimed at assisting projects such as storefront and facade improvement, placemaking, and developing strategies to take downtowns to the next level. 17 Main Street districts received grants this year. Their names, as I said, are on the visual. And representatives of some of those districts are here today. And I applaud you for your commitment to this worthwhile work. What you do matters to the communities you serve, and I look forward to speaking with some of you today as we wrap up. Additionally, we have representatives from municipalities that received Neighborhood Preservation Program grants this year, and I recognize your amazing work as well. These communities we will work with over a 3 to 5 year period to stimulate investment from residents, lending institutions, businesses, nonprofits, and local governments to strengthen threatened but viable neighborhoods. And that is what we look for when we review the applications that come into DCA. The goal of the program is to support longer-term commitments to help towns build their local management capacity so that when the grant funding ends, they have the ability and the partnerships to sustain the work and keep making improvements. Governor Murphy created something called the Jobs and Economic Council. It is an interdepartmental group. We meet periodically and we seek to identify resources within our respective departments that we can target to communities such as Hammonton to support this kind of work. So we look forward to supporting the initiatives even broader and beyond Main Street and neighborhood preservation. Hammonton is a former NPP community, and it had just begun to start its work in 2009 when the program kind of diminished down. But despite that, Hammonton persevered, applying for other grants and building buy-ins from other community stakeholders. One important thing that Hammonton did throughout this period was to continuously update and implement its neighborhood plan for downtown Hammonton, which put it in a great position for when Main Street, New Jersey, and the Neighborhood Preservation Program was reestablished. Hammonton has excelled at creating energy between NPP and Main Street to squeeze the most investment on return out of the funding. The town will use its NPP grant to expand the Eagle Theater, and I love being here at the Eagle Theater. I am an arts lover, and it has become a magnet, attracting residents and visitors of all ages. And its Main Street, New Jersey grant will be used to continue work on the Hammonton Arts Walk, which is visible from where we stand, and it connects Bellevue Avenue and the businesses on that Main Street with Eagle Theater. In a few months' time, what is already a nice walkway will be transformed into an art-inspired connector that encourages people to gather, flow between the Main Street and the theater, and support the businesses that are here along the way. I'm sure people can't wait to see how positively these efforts are going to affect downtown Hammonton. To talk more about Hammonton's vision and how the NPP and Main Street Jersey grants will help the town achieve it, I'd like to ask Deputy Mayor Gribben to come up to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of Mayor Steve DiDonato and Town Council, I'm honored to welcome Acting Governor Sheila Oliver to Hammonton. The renaissance of Hammonton has been a very well-orchestrated, long-term goal of this town. We set out several years ago to make Hammonton a destination, and thanks to the Eagle Theater, our bustling downtown, our craft beverage industry, and the ever-expanding festival and events, we have become the place to be. We are very thankful for this funding, which will allow us to continue the economic growth and revitalization of our community. Mayor and Council realize and appreciate the amazing work of Main Street, the events that it hosts, which really bring our community together, and the support it offers to our downtown businesses that fosters a welcoming, visually appealing, and thriving Main Street here in Hammonton. The Eagle Theater has truly helped our town reach new heights, attracting visitors from all over the tri-state region. And that is why Town Council is committed to continuing the support of the Main Street program, the Eagle Theater, and has invested in additional infrastructure improvements in downtown Hammonton to aid in our town's growth. The Eagle Theater expansion is the focus of the first year of Neighborhood Preservation Program funding and other projects throughout the Main Street downtown district in future years, such as a public address system for the downtown to be utilized for parades, festivals, and events, creative placemaking projects, public parking, facade improvements, and much more. Our goal is to create a whole circuit of walkable public spaces, courtyards, and parklets that connect in a seamless way for residents and visitors to enjoy day or night throughout all of the seasons. These grants will leverage the municipal investment in our downtown and the private investment by entrepreneurs and restaurateurs. This will create construction jobs with long-term positions in small businesses that expand or choose to locate here. I'm so proud of our volunteer residents who work so tirelessly for our town and for those that made this grant possible. Again, thank you, Acting Governor Oliver, for being here today, and to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for selecting Hammonton for this grant. With this funding, Hammonton will continue its role as the jewel of South Jersey. Thank you.
Boy, am I glad I'm the MC for today. I get to be in the shade right now. Our next speaker is Jim Donio. And Jim Donio is the co-founder and chief strategist of the Eagle Theater and the mayor's advocate for Hammonton. In addition to those volunteer positions, he has been a volunteer with Main Street Hammonton for more than 25 years, and he was instrumental in preparing both of these grant applications. I can tell you so many good things are a result of the efforts of this very fine man, Jim Donio.
Thank you all again for coming today. The mission of the Eagle Theater is redefining regional theater. That's a pretty big, bold statement for an intimate theater like ours. But when we look back at the last 10 years, since the theater was restored and reopened, That mission has been accomplished, both on our stage and throughout the communities we serve. I've been involved with many complicated ventures and on a global level throughout my life. But I always say that the Eagle Theater is the single most challenging project I've ever been involved with. And that probably could be said about the downtown revitalization effort for the last 25 years as well. I credit my mother, really, Angela, who's here today, I think, still. It's a little warm for her. For inspiring me to, and all of my brothers, really, to give back to the community and to do public service. And I've been inspired by her and her love of historic preservation as well, and the arts and culture, and her love and passion for this town, which is really probably second to none. So thank you, my mother, Angela. While I've been immersed as a volunteer with the Eagle Theater since the nonprofit was created, and along with the Main Street Hammonton program for the past 25 years, many others have been essential in making this possible. My belief is great things happen when we all work together. And in Hammonton, I think we've been a fine example of collaboration and partnering at a wonderful example for other towns and areas to follow. Cassie Iacovelli, our executive director of the Main Street Hammonton program, and the entire board and all the volunteers of the Main Street Hammonton program, Mayor Steve DiDonato, Deputy Mayor Gribben, and Town Council have all made a concerted effort to help this theater become a destination. In addition, we deeply value our relationship with the Greater Hammonton Chamber of Commerce and its director, John Rumfalo, along with its board. And we're very thankful for years of support and insight over these years. It's been invaluable to us. John's here today as well. Every level of government, from federal, state, county, and local, have committed grant and loan funds to the Eagle Theater during the past 10 years. And I think that's a heck of an achievement, actually. And it certainly is a great recognition for our theater and our downtown. In addition, local, regional, and national foundations and individuals have also contributed since our inception, including the Wyncote Foundation and Charles and Lynn Arsenal, who are here as well, who are two of our absolute biggest and best supporters and who I consider family as well. So thank you, Charles and Lynn. The Eagle Theater would not be here today without our staff, our board of directors, volunteers, donors, and everyone in what we call the Eagle Theater family. I must also single out our producing artistic director, Ted Weinsek III, and our managing director, Ed Corsi. Their tireless efforts have brought us to this point and will help lead the Eagle Theater, Hammonton, and our entire region into a bright future as well. And I thank them for their over-the-top and constant efforts over these years as well. The Downtown Business Improvement Zone Fund was created to allow areas like Hammonton and improvement districts, like one that was created here, to flourish and thrive, and to really, as Acting Governor Oliver said, to take things to the next level. I think the same could be said for the NPP program and the Main Street program as well. We use the Downtown Business Improvement Zone Loan Fund to acquire, through the Eagle Theater, with support from Main Street Hammonton and a guarantee by the town of Hammonton, and with funding from the state of New Jersey, we were able to acquire the house next door and the property next door to the Eagle Theater, which gave us the ability to expand for future expansion needs, and also allowed us to locate our executive offices here and housing. Actor housing, because we have actors that join us here at the Eagle Theater from all over the country, and we're very blessed to have some of the most very talented equity and non-equity professional actors from throughout the nation in our very intimate, charming, immersive space here in Hammonton. What it will also allow us to do now with the additional funds is to allow for the expansion. But DBiz is one of those programs that I think is not as widely known as it could be, and not necessarily used in as always as a creative way as it could be in this case. I think it's been incredibly effective across the state, and we would not have been able to acquire this property directly adjacent to the theater in the heart of our downtown district without it. So again, we thank the Murphy administration, and we also thank Acting Governor Oliver for her support on that. While those DBIZ loan funds allowed us to do the acquisition and start the renovation, it's a big undertaking. 140-year-old beautiful historic property under that old siding is some wonderful architecture. However, it needed a lot of code upgrades. It had several illegally operating apartments, and it needed to be uplifted, and so we've worked through that. The funding provided by the state of New Jersey by the Neighborhood Preservation Program and the Main Street Transformational Grants will allow the Eagle Theater to, again, take everything to that next big level. And we really are blessed and honored that Hammonton and the theater involved with that process, and downtown Hammonton, have been chosen as really one of the only, I believe it's 4 in the entire state, 4 municipalities in 4 areas to be selected for both grants. So that's an achievement as well, and one that we should all be very proud of. Thank you. So what will the grant be used for? Well, the first part of the grant, the Neighborhood Preservation Program grant that I'll focus on, will be used to connect the 2 spaces, ideally, or at least to create our technical workshop area here on site, which will make the life and ability, the creative ability of our staff much more manageable, and also allow them to continue to broaden their artistic capabilities here on site. We'll also be able to train on site now apprentices and others who want to be immersed in the arts and who want to learn from the Southern New Jersey area, and who can learn from some of the absolute most talented people in the country right here in Southern New Jersey. And as Southern New Jersey's only year-round professional equity theater, we think we can bring a little something extra to those folks that have a passion for the arts, and give them something close to home and not have to travel to Philly or New York to do it. And we are very much looking forward to that. It'll also allow for some exterior facade improvements here at this site, and ideally, with enough fundraising and our capital campaign that we'll be launching to help match and leverage these funds, an expanded area on the front of the house next door, connecting in for some outdoor space, and also longer term, connecting the 2 facilities together with a larger lobby and a secondary small intimate performance space as well. So that'll allow this very cool 105-year-old space to really enlarge itself, and also to become an even bigger destination, which will provide more foot traffic, more visitors, and more enjoyment for residents of New Jersey and beyond. And that is something that, while we dreamed big about it 10 years ago, this and these funds and these grants in particular will provide the resources along with private investment to make that happen. So thank you again. On behalf of the entire Eagle Theater family, we are eternally grateful for the support of Acting Governor Oliver and the entire Murphy administration. Running a theater, as I said, especially in Southern New Jersey in an underserved area, is a challenge. Every day we wake up and we have wonderful people here that focus in on these efforts. But I have to tell you that moments like these make us all want to dream bigger and achieve more. We never want to let you down, and hopefully we never will. So thank you again.
Thank you, Jim. So heartfelt and so genuine. I get to speak at this point, and here's the key thing. I have notes, and I'm going to be brief, which is, anybody who knows me knows that never happens. But because I have an 8.5-month pregnant woman following me, I will speak very, very. So I'll quickly say to you, as has been mentioned earlier, for the past 26 years, the Main Street Hammonton program and the Hammonton community have worked methodically and collectively to revitalize and promote economic growth in downtown Hammonton. Our goal has always been to create a safe, vibrant, community-centered district for people to shop, dine, and celebrate the arts and family traditions. And I do report to a Hammonton Revitalization Board that I want to also mention at this point, because that team of people works so diligently on a regular basis to assist me in trying to achieve that goal. Being awarded the Main Street, New Jersey Transformational Grant at this point in our history is very exciting. It has allowed us to continue and complete the Hammonton Arts Walk, a project that will provide, as has been mentioned before, outdoor gathering space and feature so many aspects that will only enhance that sense of community for our downtown. This is the first of what we hope will be many more Hammonton creative placemaking projects. Hint, hint. These outdoor gathering spots are intended to enhance the aesthetic look and the appeal of our downtown to draw visitors from all over the region to experience all that Hammonton has to offer. I can assure you, as we in Hammonton, we have so many more plans ahead for our town. And Main Street Hammonton is eager to continue our revitalization efforts, and we appreciate and we have counted on the support of so many of you out here right now that are business owners, volunteers, residents, and civic leaders. I don't think people can begin to understand with such a small town the amount of support that we get from our community, and I'm so very, very grateful. We have come so far over the years, and collaboratively we'll continue our good work for the betterment of our community. We are so very grateful for this grant and the renewed commitment to community revitalization received from the Governor's administration. We welcome you to return in the near future to view the results of your investment with us. And may I say, and have a cup of coffee, we don't have Starbucks, but we do have a small business, Casciano's, who actually was able to be so successful that Starbucks had to leave our town. So we're very proud. We are very, very proud of our small town coffee, which is just literally going to be connected to the art walk. So it's all over there for your view. Come back and experience the revitalized energy this new art walk has brought to our small town by connecting dining, arts, shops, and successfully improving the economic growth for our local business community. We are heartfelt in our appreciation. We are grateful for you being here today. And on behalf of the entire Hammonton community, we thank you so very, very much. And so quickly, I am going to introduce our final speaker, and that is Jackie Brunozzi Dolan from the Anata Wine Bar. And Jackie was raised in Vineland, and she came and started the business with her family in 2008 to open the Anata Wine Bar in our downtown. I just want to say that this was a game changer for our downtown is an understatement. Jackie, you now live here in Hammonton, and I can tell you that the efforts of your family and your investment in our community is so very much appreciated. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Jackie.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. It is surely an honor being here to discuss our great town and all of its outstanding efforts to add to our thriving community. I'm Jackie Dolan. My family and I own Anata Wine Bar located right across the parking lot here, next to Casciano's. We are about to celebrate our 11th anniversary. We opened up at a time that was questionable from an economic standpoint. It was also debatable whether we were going to make it for 1 year, let alone 11. Between some delicious food and exceptionally committed staff, our neighbors here at the Eagle Theater, and all of the constant downtown activities, there is always something bringing familiar and new faces into town, which continues to support our business. The growth of the arts has directly benefited our community and our business. If you look down the arts walk here and follow the path of stars, you are led to the Anata Wine Garden, an outdoor dining area that we opened this summer. Main Street Hammonton Arts Walk Committee and I began collaborating several years ago about creating a permanent outdoor space at Anata that would work in conjunction with their vision for an unused alleyway. A bit of seed funding from the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, along with a grant from the Thrive South Jersey and private investment by Vision Property Group and Anata, of course, helped support this project on its way, or start the project on its way. So at about 7 months pregnant, with 2 children at home, a full-time sales job, as well as Anata to run, the Arts Walk Committee gave me the motivation and push to get our outdoor space up and running. The wine garden has been blooming, and the attention and business that it has already added to Anata has been outstanding. The state of New Jersey's Main Street Transformational Grant will allow the full dream for this place to become a reality. We are so very thankful for the funding, which will help our business and many others continue to grow. Family has always been the core of my motivation, be it my husband, my children, parents, my siblings, or this amazing community that has felt like one big family from the start. You always want to try to do what's best for your family and create the most comfortable and inviting environment for them. I'm so very happy and proud that together with the Main Street Arts Walk Committee, we are creating a beautiful and vibrant space for all of our families to enjoy today and for many years to come. We hope you can stop by at Anata soon. Thank you so very much and have a great day. Everyone cool off now.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to bring you out of the sun, Acting Governor Oliver, and we welcome any questions that you might have that can be directed to our Acting Governor Oliver. There you go.
Anyone have any questions? No, well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. It's hot and it's wonderful, and I love what is going on here. And, you know, we like to take the kinds of things that are happening in Hammonton and replicate them in other communities around the state. But this is the future of our communities, the kinds of initiatives that you're doing here. Just want to thank everyone, and particularly people who are volunteering their time and their talent to make this happen in Hammonton. We thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm dying to go into either team.